Jnanena adhyayena dharman yogagano paman Jnaya bhedena sambuddhaha sambandhe dipadambaram. In the context of a search for dharma, we saw loka samastas kino bhavantu, the aspiration of universal welfare and the action driven to it as dharma. Then eradicating the evil forces, what we call as atta, that which eat us, which appear to be giving happiness immediately, leading to a long misery. Its eradication is dharma, and moving towards abhyudaya and nishrayasa. Abhyudaya, social upliftment, and nishrayasa, spiritual welfare. Abhyudaya, again starting from an immediate misery leading to long joy. Nishrayasa, starting from an immediate misery leading to a permanent joy. This is dharma. Yataha abhyuday nishrayasa siddhis sadharma. Then comes the question. The whole definition is based on joy and misery, starting with a temporary misery, leading to long joy. If this is dharma, then what is misery? What is joy? Regarding joy, regarding happiness, we saw that happiness is not from the outside world. Some external object may be a stimuli to take us to the internal happiness. Internal happiness is our own self. When Vishaya Sambhoga happens, when the sense object and the enjoyer are unified, for a fraction of seconds, the thoughts are nullified or minimized. At the time I experience myself, this I call as happiness, and I misunderstand as some other object is giving this happiness, and I am running after that object. If I'm thorough, if I have a clarity that happiness is from me or happiness is me, then I need not run after the external objects. This knowledge can solve many of our problems. This knowledge is a very great contribution. If we have this knowledge, if we have this knowledge thoroughly and live a life following this knowledge, we will not run after the external objects for our happiness. This is the idea. After all, happiness is our own self, and even the external stimuli takes us only to that happiness. If this is the case, why can't we enjoy those external stimuli? Can be drug or drinking liquor, so on and so forth. In that sense, the answer is drug or liquor. Regarding them, again, as we see in Atta and Abhyudaya, we need to differentiate, discriminate among the external stimuli which offer us happiness. They are of three kinds. This is what I believe: tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. Tamasic stimuli, rajasic stimuli, and sattvic stimuli. If you take tamasic stimuli, let me come to this point. Any stimuli creates some excitement, through excitement, some acceleration in our mind, but that is not happiness. Beyond this acceleration, it takes us to the internal and inherent silence or peace, at least for a fraction of a second. From that inherent and internal peace or silence, we feel happy, but we throb to report. Therefore, we come to the peripheral layer and we start to celebrate the excitement. Regarding the external stimuli, the stimuli which offers us more acceleration and takes us to the lesser silence or peace, they are tamasic and rajasic. Sattvic is a different kind of thing, where it takes us to the internal peace or the inner self more. Acceleration is lesser in sattvic stimuli. Acceleration becomes lesser. So let me give an example for sattvic stimuli. You take rajasic stimuli or tamasic stimuli, drug or liquor can be examples. Regarding sattvic stimuli, there are various kinds of stimuli. Take for example, Abhisheka. You go to a temple and sit in front of a deity. The priests are doing some Abhisheka to the deity. They anoint the deity. It all starts from anointing with milk, then curd, then haldi, turmeric, and chandanam, so on and so forth, coconut water. While the whole process is happening, you are seeing that deity in various forms, in various colors. The whole Abhisheka system is beautifully designed. You see the Bhagavan there in various colors, while with Chandanam you see the deity. It gives you a different kind of experience. With the curd, it gives another kind of experience. With milk, another kind of experience. These are all various stimuli to take us to the internal heart. For example, in Kshirabhishekam, when Bhagavan is anointed with milk, or Chandana Kapu, when Bhagavan is anointed with Chandanam, it certainly touches our heart. A Darshanarthi's heart, he couldn't hold it. Darshanarthi cannot hold. Darshanarthi, due to the a peaceful experience, an inexplicable experience, he starts to, what to say? He starts to express. He starts to scream, or you can see that in Abhishekam, in Kshira Abhishekam, the Darshanarthis, they start to cry joyfully. Govinda, Govinda. That is what they cry. They cry. It is not that it is a convention that we all should cry at the time of Kshira Abhishekam or Chandana Kapu. There is a convention that at the time of Kshira Abhishekam or Chandana Abhishekam, all the Darshanarthis should cry. Or no Shastra says that at the time of Chandana Abhishekam, all Darshanarthis should chant the name of Bhagavan and cry joyfully. No. It is only a response to the joy which the people experience at the time. It is neither a convention nor a Shastric injunction that we have to cry at the time. We scream, we cry joyfully, just because it's an expression of joy which we experience at the time. And this experience is common in all those darshanarthis, devotees sitting in front of the deity, especially regarding the honey abhisheka, madhu abhisheka. When this honey is, when Bhagavan is anointed with honey, we feel some concentration, some single-mindedness. Regarding meditation, Shankaracharya says, Taila Dharavat. It should be consistent as a consistent flow of oil. And even now, Tailabhisheka is there for Shivalinga. Ramanuja expresses in a different way. Our meditation should be consistent as the consistent flow of honey, Madhudharavat. Okay. So either in Tailabhisheka or in honey Abhisheka, Madhu Abhisheka, when we sit in front of the deity, we feel that focus. Our mind is bound. Our mind is focusing. That focus makes us to give some expression. Oh, wonderful. That Madhu is upon the Shivalinga and it is spreading throughout Shivalinga, and seeing that we are expressing. We are expressing that joy, some peaceful joy. Thoughts are calmed. We are in ourselves, therefore we express. So, a Sattvic stimuli, for Sattvic stimuli, I gave example as Abhisheka. For Sattvic stimuli, another example can be given. What's that? The same. Puja, we can call. Puja is another example. The whole process of puja is something like inviting an atithi. Atithi means unexpected guest. Unexpected guest, atithi. And it's a culture in India. When somebody comes to our house, we feel that great soul is coming. A yatihal, a sannyasin is coming, a saint is coming to our house. So we clean that house and we paint a rangoli, rangavalli, and we are inviting that yati. For that we have Purnakumbha. Our mind is filled with the joy that yati is coming, or an important person in our life. Our mentor is coming. Our mentor is coming. That kind of feeling comes to us. And when he comes, we chant the mantra, we invite, and we make him to sit on a chair, and we offer water to wash his hand, to wash his feet, and to wash his mouth. Then we offer food. All these things happen. And after offering food, we offer several things like Nrittam Samarpayami, Geetam Samarpayami. If we are in a family, our children may dance and the family members may sing so that the Atiti can be happy. For him, Chatram, Chamaram, everything is offered. So this is the whole process of puja. An Atiti comes to our griham, our house, we show hospitality. So just to consider the God as our Atiti. This puja happens then. 16 steps are there. Dhyayami, Avahayami. I meditate upon the Bhagavan, the deity within my heart. Then Avahayami, I'm inviting to this idol which I have. While I invite, I develop a bhavana. Such great Bhagavan, who is omnipotent, omniscient, that great Bhagavan accepting my invitation, after all, coming to my hut. That great Ramachandra, who is the king of the whole world, Eko Vishwasya Bhuvanasya Raja. That great Bhagavan Ramachandra is coming to my hut to accept my puja. With this, I feel the compassion of the Lord. Tears come in my eyes. I invite to this idol. And I feel that this idol is filled with Bhagavan Ramachandra. Avahayami. And not only Rama, with his parivar he comes. Rama comes always with parivar. Sita, Lakshmana and Hanuman. They are also invited. As soon as they come, we offer them asam, seat. Oh Rama, please be seated. Asanam samarpayami. Then we offer Padyam, Argyam and Achamaniyam, all these things. Water to wash Rama's feet, Rama's hands and Rama's mouth, Rama's lips. Achamaniyam samarpayami. Then this Abhishekam happens. After Abhishekam, Naivedyam, Dhupa, Deepa and Naivedyam happens. We offer the food which we cook to Ramachandra. Then only we have it as prasadam. Okay. First we offer to Bhagavan Ramachandra and the great devotees of Rama, the great devotees, Bhagavatas, they don't have any food other than prasadam, other than this Naivedyam. That is the vow they have. Without offering to the Lord, they never accept any food. That is why this food is called as prasadam. Food in Tamil, proper Tamil is soru. In Bhagavata families, you can see they discourage to use the word soru or food. Don't call it as food. It is prasadam. Prasadam. Prasadam's short form in Tamil is sadam. Don't call it as soul, but sadam. It's because soul is just a food. So just a food. Sadam is prasadam. It is a blessing of the Lord. We change the attitude on seeing that. Okay, we accept prasad. See, when we see the food, our senses may run after it. Hey, this is the eatable I like. This is delicious, delicious. That excitement is controlled. Wait. First, let us offer to the deity. Then offer to the atitis. Then let us consume. Let us also see whether all our family members are consuming. This attitude, very important attitude, this attitude is advised by Veda. And interestingly, to our time, in all the states of India, in all regional languages, this is very much taken care that this Rigvedic advice has to be followed. Whether the people know that this is a Vedic injunction or not, they strictly follow in India. This is an Indian culture. When we get some food, we don't run after it. We wait and see. Or is it offered to Bhagavan? Is it offered to Atithis? And how about our family members? Are they taking this? Are they consuming this? Seeing all these things, slowly we take. This is the base of our culture. Please understand. This custom somehow our ancestors brought long back from the Vedic times, brought regarding food. But when we practice this regarding food, it will pervade, this attitude will pervade all other bhogas also. So this atra element can be eliminated. Atra attitude, I alone have to eat, I have to devour. This is delicious. All these things are for me. That attitude goes away. Long back in the Vedic literature, our injunction is when we offer as yajna, we chant idam na mama. This is not for me. Agnaye idam na mama. This is for Agni. This is for Vishnu. This is for Surya. And not for me is a very important statement. Wherever we offer oblation in yajna, we not only chant this is for Agni, we also chant this is not for me. Dravya tyagaha devataye yajna ityavidiyate. This tyaga is yaga. Very important. Na mama. Na mama is important. So, in this way, it is a process. Puja is a process. I'm talking about Naivedyam and consuming prasadam. Following that Naivedyam, then Deeparadhanam, Arattikam. In Sanskrit, we call as Arattikam. It became Hindi Harati. Okay, fine. And then, following that Harati, then Chatram Samarpayami, Chamram Samarpayami, whatever we use in our life to enjoy, to satisfy our own senses, umbrella, fanning, and the vehicles like elephant and horse. All these things are offered to Bhagavan. Gajam Samarpayami, Ashwam Aropayami, Gajam Aropayami. Nrityam Ganam Samarpayami. So, dance and the music are offered to Bhagavan. If somebody knows in our families some song, he or she can sing and dance also. With this, the whole process of puja ends. It may take some half an hour. We can do it for 3 hours also, as Periva is doing. We can see in Kanchi Math, morning puja, afternoon puja, evening puja. For every puja, there is a snanam. There is a very great task. Mahatmas are doing that. We can poorly imitate it, at least for some 15 minutes in our busy schedule of office and all. We can, every day, at least for 15 minutes, we can do some puja, or 10 minutes. We can do puja. The great Bhagavan, who accepts the puja of Periva, accepts after all our puja also. That's interesting. That is his compassion. That is his grace. So, what happens in the process of puja? Let us come to that. The whole process of puja, 20 minutes or half an hour or 10 minutes. It's not that our external organs alone are involved. While we are offering dhupa, deepa, nevidya, it's not just hand alone is involved in it. Mind is completely involved. Today to our house, Sri Ramachandra is coming. I'm inviting him, avahayami. I'm offering him the asanam and he is sitting in front of me. This bhavana is developed in puja. We need to understand that bhavana is not just a ritual. The ritual is performed to induce that bhavana. So that through that bhavana, I just calm my mind, my vrittis, my psychic modes are getting calmed, gradually nullified. When they get nullified, I alone exist. This is the true happiness. So a sattvic stimuli, puja is a sattvic stimuli, which see, regarding sattvic stimuli, again I come to the Abhyudaya Atri definition. If you have a liquor, immediately you go to pleasure, but the pleasure is momentary. But regarding puja, it's a training. Maybe for first 10 to 15 days, you may not feel anything. You may feel bored also. Okay. What is this puja? Yeah, these are all nonsense, this superstitious, that kind of thoughts come. But gradually, in due course of time, okay, in the beginning, you may feel bored. And in due course of time, this process of puja take us to the internal calmness. Okay. Regarding this puja, you may call it as worship. You may call it as worship. By doing this, by performing this puja, what happens in the external world to an external God? This any other religion can explain. By this kind of worship, God will be pleased, God will be happy, and He will bless you. Why to do puja? If you do puja, God will be happy and bless you. This explanation can be seen in any religion. Okay. But Hindu Dharma alone talks about what happens in puja in our mind. This is the esoteric realm of religion. This explanation is required. What is happening in the external world is some other thing. Some other thing. Okay. But on the other hand, what is happening within regarding puja? This may happen. So this can be the explanation which you give. What happens in the internal world regarding puja can be applicable even in the worship of other religions too. Okay. And rituals of other religions too. Somebody goes to a church on Sunday and he stands or kneels down in front of God. What happens? Whether he knows or not, he starts to calm the mind. Yes, this calmness of mind, going into the internal peace about which they may know or not, their scripture talks or not, but it starts to happen. It starts to happen. Therefore, this explanation, what we see in our Shastras, can rightly interpret the ritual as a whole. It can be a Mayan ritual, it can be an Egyptian ritual, it can be a Christian ritual, it can be a namaz. All these things, how God, an external God is pleased is some other thing which can be found in any religion, but this internal explanation is only in our Yoga Shastras. in our Vedanta Shastras, the explanation which is very much required in the upcoming scientific world. So coming back to the point, in the whole process of puja, we develop a bhavana which calms our mind. This we need to understand. I can go on giving explanation after explanation regarding the sattvic stimuli. Puja, Abhisheka, we have seen. A few more explanations, let us see. Krishna Vrataha, Krishna Manusmarantaha, Ratraucha Krishnam Punaruttita Ye. Bhishma says in Mahabharata. While rising at morning and going to the bed at night, in the afternoon, every time you lead a life with Krishna, Bhishma says. Bhagavatas lead their life with Krishna. It means puja not only once. Okay. Early morning puja can be called a Suprabhatam. Then Madhyana puja. Then evening puja can be called as Dolotsavam. So we wake up with Krishna. We go to the bed with Krishna. Krishna Prataha. Krishna Anusmarantaha. We always do Anusmarana of Krishna. We remember Krishna. In this way, Bhagavatas lead a life of purity. All these things are only to calm the mind. Calm the mind. See the whole process. Okay, this is a Bhagavata aspect, Bhagavata line. Let me come to the Vedic Samskaras. Take, for example, Sandhyopasana. Sandhyopasana is a package, a beautiful package, wonderful package. Our ancestral practice. We may not know the significance of Sandhyopasana. Lot of theories are dealt. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, so on and so forth. There are so many Vedanta classes happening. So many yoga sessions happening. But what a very important thing is, Sri Anna, what he says is, all these practices, all these theories of all Vedanta and yoga, they are inherent, they are hidden in such a small practice, a simple practice, that is Sandhyopasana, Sandhyavandanam. We may not understand the value of Sandhyavandanam. We might have stopped it because we don't respect our ancestors. We may believe that our ancestors are superstitious. Therefore, long back we have shunned their ideas. But when we get trapped into some problem, we search for the solution. Somebody will advise us to go to yoga class. We go to yoga class and we learn to do pranayama. But our ancestors had done that only. In Sandhyavandanam, pranayama comes. If we would have properly done that pranayama, we might not have got into that problem, for which you are again searching for solution as pranayama, meditation. All these things are inherent in Sandhyavandanam itself. That's interesting. You take Sandhyavandanam, it has all. It has all. What it has Karma Yoga, Shri Parameshwara Prityartham. Shri Vaishnava say Shriman Narayana Prityartham. It has Karma Yoga and finally ends with Karma Yoga, Narayana Yati Samarpayami. And it has Upasana, it has Raja Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Gayatri Mantra, and Pranayama, Asanam also. We sit in Sukhasanam or Padmasanam while doing this Gayatri Japa, and Tadasanam or Vrikshasanam. Some people do that, the time of Upasthana. And we also have Jnana Yoga there. Seeing all as divine is Jnana Yoga. So you see all directions as Bhagavan, therefore you are offering paying your homage, Sandhyaya Namaha, Savitri Namaha, Prache Dishe Namaha, Dakshinaya Dishe Namaha. And you have Sharanagati also, Rakshamam Sharanagatam. In Sandhyavandanam you have Sharanagati also, Rakshamam Sharanagatam. You have Namasankirtanam. Sandhyavandanam starts with Namasankirtanam, Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha, Keshava Narayana Madhava. And you have cleaning process, Apo Hishta Mayo Guvaha. And all these things are there. Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Namasankirtanam, Bhakti Yoga. What is not there in Sandhyavandanam? If you understand and do it, it's a very great grace. A simple package without any spending, expenditure. A simple package offered by our ancestors to us. Matchless gift. Sandhyavandanam is not a sadhana, it itself is a means. It itself is an end. It is a purushartha. In Sandhyavandanam, all these sadhanas are inherent. So, what happens? While doing this Sandhyavandana with a very great sincerity and devotion, after doing Sandhyavandana, you just watch your mind. Mind is peaceful. Mind is peaceful. Okay. Sun is the soul. Surya Atma Jagatas Tastushascha. Sun is, see, every god in the Veda has two meanings. External, internal. Savita, externally, the sun orbit. Internally, the Atman. Sun is the self. And the sun's daughter, that is the Sandhya or Savitri, is the dawn of sun, the dawn of self-knowledge. We pay homage to these two deities at early morning. This is the whole of Sandhyavandana process. And they prescribe, our ancestors prescribe that this process is the base of everything. Whatever you do, you may perform some Sudarsana Homa, you may perform anything, any Kamya Ishti, Nakshatra Ishti, so on and so forth. Whatever you do, or Mantra Japa, you may do some Mantra Japa, Panchaksharam, Ashtaksharam, Dwadasaksharam. But the base is this Sandhyavandana. Without this Sandhyavandana and Gayatri Japa, nothing gets fruitful. This is what our ancestors say. So this must. They also made it must for us. So by practicing this every day, morning, afternoon, evening, you see how much our mind gets calmed, how much it is in peace. Another example, after Sandhyopasana, we do Brahmacharis do Samhita Dana, Grihasthas do Upasana, some kind of fire ritual. It is also like that. By this fire ritual, you expand your mind, because in fire ritual, you are offering something. And you chant Namama, this is not for me. This is Yajna Prasada I will take, but this whole is not for me. So sharing starts here. After this fire ritual, Atiti comes, you are offering homage to that Atiti. This is the whole process. The whole process, which is very old, starting from the Veda, the whole process again calm the mind. Starting from a simple Sandhyavandanam, Aupasanam, Agni Karyam, and starting from a simple puja, Suprabhatam and Dolotsavam, what our ancestors did, up to the great celebrations of temple, Nityotsava, Masotsava, Pachotsava and Brahmotsava, also up to the great Vahanams. Okay. Our Tamil ancestors made all our villages and towns temple-centric. Temple is a center. And we see Brahmotsava the deity in various vahanams like Garuda Vahana or Vrishabha Vahana, Hanumat Vahana, all these in Vahanams, and also our house functions like Pongal or Deepavali or Navaratri and so on and so forth. In all these things you see calming the mind. Yeah, that is the essence. That is the essence. When a young boy or girl asks a question, why these rituals? Okay. You need to give a very long explanation. If the question why comes in Hindu Dharma, particularly to Hindu Dharma, thousands of whys can come because we have uncountable rituals and customs. Why that? Why to light the lamp? And why Bharatanatyam? Why Karnataka Sangeetam? Why Kathakali? Why Kuchupudi? Why Navaratri? Why Holi? Why Deepavali? Why? Our young generation can ask. And thousands of explanations can be there. But generally speaking, for all these questions, a simple explanation given in Bhagavatam. Simple explanation. Sarve manonigraha lakshanantaha parohi yogaha manasas samadhihi. All these customs, all these rituals are there only to calm our mind, only to take us to the internal silence, which is yourself. Thoughts are not you. Instincts are not you. Beyond these instincts, emotions, and thoughts, you are. And you are that silence, you are that peace. And the rituals which run in the name of Hindu Dharma, Sanatana Dharma, Vedic Dharma, they all take us to this calmness, which is very important in our life. Sarve Manonigraha Lakshananta is not just rituals, but the customs and also our Shastric injunctions, lifestyle. Lifestyle, take for example this kind of dhoti. The dresses, for example, in Indian culture, the dresses which are loose in their nature. Okay, this uttariyam is loose, it's not tight. The dhoti which I wear is loose. I am comfortable with this clothes. And this kind of loose clothes can calm my mind, but not the tight clothes. Tight clothes can trigger me. They can trigger my thoughts. They can trigger my impulsions. They can also attract others. They can make the people sensitive and sensuous. But this loose clothes, they are healthy. They calm our mind. Okay. And our ancestors had various practices, customs like this to calm clothes and the food we eat. Food that which is shared with God, which is shared with others, which is shared with our elders and friends. And also food which is sattvic can calm the mind. What is sattvic food? Simple answer is by consuming which you can happily sleep without a disturbance. What is rajasic food? By consuming which you can't sleep at all in life, in your night, at night. We feel restlessly. We have restless people. This is Rajasic food. Sattvic celebration, Rajasic celebration. What is Sattvic celebration? Take for example, Navaratri. In Tamil culture, in our family, if there is a girl child, we decorate that girl child as Devi, a small child. She is decorated as a Devi. And she goes to 4 or 5 houses in our street with a kumkum dabba. And she goes and invites them. We have Golu in our house, please do come. Our child says in 4 or 5 houses. In the attire of a Devi, she goes. And the people of that village see the girl as Devi, as mother. This is our culture. It's our culture. Just you compare this with the attire that the children have in Halloween Day. Halloween Day celebration. Nowadays it happens in India too, in which the children, where children are decorated as ghosts. They assume the form of ghosts. They go to 4 or 5 houses and they are taught to threaten the people there and get some money. Among those children, a child who got more money is praised, is encouraged. This is a kind of celebration. This kind of celebration is gradually entering into India, slowly entering into India. And people gradually start to forget Navaratri function. And people in Indian apartments, they celebrate this Halloween Day. Halloween Day is to trigger our thoughts, make us more selfish, make us more competitive, make us to run more in a rat race. How can we collect money? How can we threaten the people to collect money? Even though it appears to be fun. It's just a fun, chhod do. We can't tell like that. Becoming more and more selfish cannot be a celebration. That is what we do in the name of Halloween Day. That is what we do in the name of April Fool. April Fool, another celebration. What is that? Fooling the people and be happy. It is a function. We got from our rulers, I mean colonizers. We don't know that. In India, we did not have April Fool function. In April 1st, we should cheat each other. This is a function. This is a function. People should lie and cheat each other. See, these are all negative functions which trigger our thoughts, make us more excited, make us more selfish, make us more sense-bound. We become bound to our senses through this, make us more sensuous, leading us to the momentary pleasure. On the other hand, our Shastras and Sampradayas, our ancestors, our elders, they offered us that lifestyle, those customs, those rituals, those practices, which can calm our mind, which can calm our thoughts, and they make us to be, they make us to be in ourselves. This is Sarve Manonigraha Lakshananta. Now let us see the definition of yoga. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha, or Vasishta's definition, Manav prashamana upaya yogaha. Yoga is any method to calm the mind. If this is the definition of yoga, what we do in our culture, these customs, these practices, visiting a Meenakshi temple in our occasion, in our holidays, paying homage to a Nataraja, okay, all these things, visiting one by one after the other, the Navatirupati temples in Tirunelveli, or attending some bhajan on Saturdays, all these things are there to calm the mind and to show the inherent bliss in us. And this inherent bliss is pratyaksha. It's not a belief. You need not wait for that till death. After death, you have to go to some other place and enjoy it. And there is not a promise that only in next birth you will have it. A non-verifiable truth. It's not like that. By accepting this lifestyle, by accepting these customs and practices and rituals, you become decent, first of all, by calming the mind, staying in the internal peace. This is yoga. Any method to calm the mind is yoga. If that is the case, then this whole Indian culture is yoga. Loving this only, so many Westerners come to Himalayas or Arunachala. Why? They are very rich, we see. The people who come to Tirunelveli, they are very rich. They have a lot of money. What makes them to come here? From USA and from England, from Germany. Why they come here? Why should they come here? It's because even after earning that much of money, even after having that much of materialistic comforts, even after having a very great scientific discoveries, the great philosophers or psychologists like C.G. Jung or Somerset Maugham, the great writers, Paul Brinton, why these persons? What is the need to them to come to Tirunelveli? For a simple reason. They could have achieved all these things, but they want to be themselves, which they did not have. They might have gone to the moon orbit, Neil Armstrong, but they don't know who went to the moon orbit. The one who had gone to the moon orbit, about him, about that, they don't know. So calming the mind and being in ourselves is a very important aspect, very important goal in our life. Even after fulfilling or gaining all materialistic comforts, achieving all success, people are in search of their own self, their own self. For that, they wander in Himalayas, Rishikesh, or Tirunelveli, so on and so forth. So, in today's lecture, we saw how this calming mind process has to happen only and only by being in us, only by calming the mind, getting free of the materialistic clutches. We can enjoy the happiness within us. And the happiness, if we search for happiness in the external world, we can never get it. We should learn to be happy without any external stimuli. Can we learn that art or science, whatever we may call? Can we learn that science from our elders, from our ancestors, from our rishis? Namav Paramarishibhyaha. Namav Paramarishibhyaha. We are indebted to our rishis because they have taught us how to be happy without external stimuli. And they have taught us that happiness is inherent. And this idea may not be an idea, this concept is getting reflected throughout the history of India, throughout the hagiography of India, in Sant Tukaram, in Maharashtra, in Kabir or Tulsi, Surdas in Uttar Pradesh, Mirabai in Rajasthan, Eval Nammalwar in Tamil Nadu, Pundanam in Kerala. Throughout India, we have the stories, numerous hagiography stories about saints, which make the people to be contented, economical, which make the people to enjoy their own self, so that we are not getting excited, even though we have 130 crore people, the highest population of the world. We can be contented, we can be democratic, we can be modest without having a rat race competition. Okay, we can be decent just because the saints who guide us, okay, and their stories and the fundamental teaching which also guided them, the Upanishadic teaching, the Vedic teaching, which says to us, which shows us the fact that happiness is inherent. Happiness is not from external world. We need to learn to be happy without any external stimuli. With this today, let us conclude. Then in the next session, we will see the next topic, what is misery. Okay. Today, what is happiness we saw. Today is Patanjali's perspective. Still, one more thing I have to explain. What is the perspective of Abhinav Gupta and Anandavardhana? If time permits, I will explain later. I promised to talk regarding what is happiness in the light of Taittiriya Upanishad and Satyanarayana Shastri that we saw in previous session. Today we saw from Patanjali's perspective, and if time permits, we will go to Abhinav Gupta. Otherwise, we will see just this what is misery in the next session. Dhanyavadaha. Ramara.